Hello and welcome to Unruffled Baking. I hope you enjoy today's allergy-friendly recipe. Today we are making Christmas pudding. You will need 60 grams of grated eating apple, 200 grams of plain flour, 100 grams of shredded suet, 100 grams of breadcrumbs. The easiest way to make breadcrumbs is to leave some slices of bread out for a minimum of 30 minutes and then cut the slices up into cubes and then put the cubes in a blender. 60 grams of caster sugar, 60 grams of soft brown sugar, half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, half a teaspoon of ground ginger and a whole teaspoon of ground nutmeg. 170 grams of mixed dried fruit, 110 grams of seedless raisins, the juice and zest of 1 orange, the juice and zest of half a lemon, 2 tablespoons of oat or soya milk, 2 tablespoons of brandy, or you can use orange juice if you want a non-alcoholic version, a teaspoon of vegetable oil, a glass or Pyrex bowl with a volume of around 2 pounds, or 1,000 grams, that is greased with dairy-free margarine, a mixing spoon, a trivet. This is a little stand that goes in the bottom of the pot to make sure that the pudding doesn't burn on the bottom, a pressure cooker or a large pot with a lid, water, a mixing bowl, some string and baking parchment. The baking parchment needs to be folded double with a pleat in the middle. It needs to be large enough to cover the bowl. Add all of the dry ingredients, including the dried fruit and the lemon and orange zest, to the mixing bowl. Mix the dry ingredients together thoroughly. In a jug, mix the milk, oil, lemon juice, orange juice, and optional brandy together. Add the liquids to the dry ingredients a little at a time. And mix the liquids in. Spoon the mixture into the greased bowl. Pat the mixture down into the bowl and flatten off the surface. Place the pleated baking parchment on top of the bowl and wrap the string twice around the baking parchment and the bowl as shown in the video. You may need some help with this. Tie the string off with a double knot. You can make a handle by passing the ends of the string under the string that's around the bowl and tying a double knot. Cut off the excess baking parchment. Place the trivet in the pot or pressure cooker and place the pudding on top. Then add the water. If you are not using a pressure cooker, half fill the pot. If you are using a pressure cooker, half fill the pot with water. But check the instruction manual that came with the pressure cooker to make sure that you are not overfilling it. If you are cooking the pudding in an ordinary pot, bring the water to the boil and cook for 9 hours with the lid on. Keep an eye on the water level and top up the water when necessary. To cook the pudding in a pressure cooker, we first need to pre-steam the pudding. Put the lid on, but don't engage whatever gizmo on your pressure cooker allows it to pressurize. Just treat it like a normal lid. Bring to the boil and simmer for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, check the water level and top up if necessary. Put the lid back on, bring the pressure cooker up to a high pressure, following the instructions in your pressure cooker manual, and cook for 1.5 hours. After 1.5 hours, take off the heat and allow it to slowly cool. Take off the lid and check the water level. Top it up if necessary. Bring the pressure cooker to a high pressure again and cook for another 1.5 hours. After 1.5 hours, allow the pressure cooker to cool down slowly. Remove the lid. Use the handle to remove the pudding from the pressure cooker or cooking pot. Remove the string and baking paper. The pudding will come out of the bowl easily if you run a sharp knife around the edge. Turn the pudding out onto a plate. You can sprinkle over some icing sugar. And now you have made a Christmas pudding. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you found it helpful, please like and subscribe.